Hello, in this video we're going to be painting the unicorn. So to start, just make sure you have your plate and your paints. There's 5 colors: turquoise, bright yellow, red, white, and black. Something to put water in to clean your brushes. I've got a little jar. And you're gonna need a towel to dry your brushes off once you clean them out in the water. And here I have got just an assortment of different sizes. Whatever you have, I'm sure you can make work. I'm gonna get started by doing the background, and I'm going to be using the aqua color mixed in with a lot of white. So I want it very pale. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my aqua turquoisey color and mix it in with a lot of white. So you don't need as much as I do, just because my canvas is probably double the size, but you wanna make enough to fill in your whole background. And that could maybe use a little bit more turquoise color stirred in. So something about like that. And then just go in and fill in your whole background around the outside of your unicorn. So I'm just like nice long strokes. Nice even coat of paint. You don't want big thick globs. If you've got thick globs, just spread them out. I'm being careful around my edges. There's a little ear. I use a big brush for this part because the area that I'm filling in is quite large. But you use whatever you have or whatever you feel comfortable with. So next I'm going to be cleaning out my brush because I'm going to paint the body and head of the unicorn just plain white. You're probably not going to be able to really tell that I'm painting it because white is hard to see on top of white. I'm cleaning out my brush, get all that turquoisey color out, and I'm just going to fill in with the white. So just a little bit of white paint on my brush. And I'll just come right around. Be careful on your edges here. That paint is still wet. So if you want to just give it a little time to dry, that would be a good idea. That way you don't end up getting the blue paint into the unicorn. Okay, so that's all filled in white. While this is still wet, I'm going to make up a little bit of gray. So I'm going to take my kind of smaller size brush, take some white over to the side, and then just a little bit of black stirred in to make like a nice kind of medium to light shade of gray. And with this, I'm going to be painting on the unicorn a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of blend it down the side here. And since that white paint is wet, it's easily blending in. I'll also come down the front of the head here and a little swoop around the little snout. Up here where the hair is, a little blended in there, and where this jaw, like that line is sketched in, I'm just gonna go right over that. So that just kind of helps define the unicorn's body. Next, we can go ahead and do our horn. And we're gonna make kind of an orangish color. I have this gray color on my brush, so I'm just gonna get that cleaned out. And to make orange, I'm going to use a lot of yellow and just a little bit of red. So a little bit of red in with a lot of my yellow, and see how that turns a nice orange. And then I'm going to take a scoop of white, pretty good sized scoop, and stir that in as well. So I can see I probably need a little bit more red mixed in. So I'm just a little bit stirred in, just to make it a little bit more orangey. And then just fill in the horn. Okay, now we can work on the hair, and that is all kinds of colors. You can do this however you wish. I'm going to start by just making kind of a bright pink. But the hair you can go ahead and paint the hair however, because unicorns can be however you imagine them to be. So to make the bright pink, I'm just going to take a scoop of white and stir in red. Now I want it pretty bright, so it's quite a bit of red. It's nice and bright. And even maybe a little brighter. So there I've got my nice bright pink. And I'm gonna put some hairs in the front, like the bangs. I'll paint this piece out. So it's got a little piece there. And maybe a piece that comes down here like this. So that way I have like a little space that I could put another color into. And I'll do the mane. So maybe this top piece, I'll just come around the top and come up into the swoop. And I'll make this whole swoop pink. And I'm just gonna bring it right up to like that. And then I can fill in this whole top part. And if you want this top part a different color, that's fine. You could put your stripes in however you want. Oops, I got white. That's okay. It'll blend right in. So I just kind of made a curved line that came down and up. So I'm like, whoop, look at that. Now I'll leave a little bit more space so I can fit some more colors in. And maybe down to where this little hump is, I'll just bring that up to be, so I'll have this all the way up like that. So this little piece, I can then fill in pink. So I'm gonna get all my pink ones done, and then I'll go back in and add some other colors too. Maybe just a little bit down here. Let me just swoop in a little bit down there. Okay, so now I'll do maybe some purple ones. And purple, I'm gonna stay using this pink color that I made, and to make it purple, I'm just gonna scoop in a little bit of this turquoise color and stir. And it starts to turn purple. We can add more if we need to. Maybe a little bit more of the blue just so it's a little bit more purpley, but it still looks very pink to me. So a little bit more of the blue. And then you just keep stirring it in until you've made the color purple that you want. Everybody's will be a little different. Maybe a little bit more. So that's looking pretty purple. I like that. So maybe here underneath this pink one in the mane, I'll just kind of follow the same curve. Right under. And then just fill this piece in. And do nice long strokes to kind of smooth out my brush marks. Try to get all the little globbies smoothed out. So there, I've got a nice purple one. How about another bit of purple above my first pink one? Maybe a little bit in here. And maybe down at the bottom, we'll get this bottom part filled in. And it's okay if you overlap some. And maybe how about a little bit that just comes in here. All right, I've got purple on. Now let's do, how about some yellow? And get all that purple cleaned out on my brush. Make sure you get all those colors out. Dry off nice on your towel. So with the yellow, I will mix a little bit of white in. It just helps it have good coverage. So see, it's still very bright. And with the yellow, maybe in here, I'll get this little piece put on. And then down under my purple, I can add some yellow. And then down in this big piece here, I'm just gonna go ahead and just fill this all in yellow. So next I'll add in some orange into kind of in my yellow because it'll blend in nice because there's yellow in the orange. So just a little bit of your orange on your brush. You don't even need to clean out. Maybe like a little swoop, just a little swoop of orange in my yellow there. And then down in here we can add some orange into that yellow. And if you want it more bright, like a more brighter orange, just add, like you can just stir in a little bit more red into your orange color. So maybe I want to just kind of put some brighter little swoops in. So lastly, I'm going to be using the turquoise color. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to it, kind of like when we did the sky, like the background, except this time it's going to be less white. So I want a lot brighter blue. So just take a little bit of white and just stir it over into some of your turquoise. And you can see that this is a lot brighter than what we painted the background. I'm gonna do some bangs. And then I'll add some turquoise into the mane. So I've got this spot I've left clear. Left it right open so I can get that in. Oops, I got a little orange mixed into it. I'm just gonna blend it out. So just be careful that you're not getting the other colors in between. If you want to let it dry, that would work well. And maybe down here, I'll just put it kind of, I'm gonna squeeze in a little, I painted this all yellow, but I'm just gonna go right over top the yellow here and just squeeze in a little bit of this turquoise. And it covers that yellow pretty good. It kind of gives it a little bit of a greenish color, but that's all right. It's a unicorn. It's got all kinds of fun colors in the hair. Okay, we have the mane done. So let's see, let's go and do our clouds. And I'm just gonna be using white paint and one of my bigger brushes. Can be the medium size or the great big one. I'm just gonna use this medium size because it's easier to draw the shape with a smaller brush. And clouds are just big puffy things. I'm just gonna use white paint and I'll have it go off the edge. So here, maybe like this. I've got a cloud there. And then down here, maybe a little cloud in the corner. And once you have them drawn, just go ahead and fill them in. I'm gonna switch to the bigger brush to fill in. But you can keep using whatever brush you have in your hand. It's just white paint. And I'm just getting that all filled in. And down here. Now I want to add a little bit of blue in, so it's kind of got like some shadows. And if you want to let this dry and do a second coat, that's fine also. I'm just going to keep working. So for the adding the blue in, I'll use my smaller brush. And since my clouds are still wet, this will blend well. So I've just got a little bit, this darker blue that we made when we put it in the mane. I'm just a little on my brush, and I'll just kind of swoop on the undersides. So kind of towards the bottom of your clouds, you're just gonna blend in a little bit of the blue, the turquoise color. And same here, how about on the tops? We're just gonna blend the edges a little. And just kind of swoosh it around until it's nice and soft. And maybe add a little up here. There. So now I've got my clouds. And the next part, we're just gonna go in and outline some things. Oh, we still need to paint his little ear. So let's get that painted white. I missed it when I painted his body. Hopefully you guys thought to do it. But if not, no big deal. We'll just paint it now. Just white paint. I mean, I know it's already white, but it just looks better if you've got everything on the canvas covered in paint of some sort. Okay, so next we can go in with the black. We're gonna do outlines. So let's start with the horn. You're gonna wanna use a small brush. I'm gonna use my medium one, but I'm gonna use it so if I have it on my canvas, I'm gonna use it like so that it makes a narrow line. So if your brush is flat like this, it's gonna make a wide line. If you turn it this way, it'll make a narrow line. But if you've got like a long skinny brush, that will work really well too. I'll just start with the horn. Just gonna go right down the side. Let me fix the point. And this little bottom part here. So I've got the horn outline. Now I'm gonna put like some diagonal lines in. And maybe just come at the top and they just kind of curve a little. You leave space. And now we've got the horn is done. Go around your ear. And for the bangs, I'll come around. I'm gonna do the whole outside. Then I can go back in and each of the like little stripes I made, I can put lines in to define those. So same with the main part. Do the outside. I'm gonna come under here. So I'm just outlining it as a whole right now. So I've got just the whole big piece of hair. Next I'll go in and put in individual lines for where I put the different colors. So here I can do a quick line. And it doesn't have to be every single color. Like you can leave little spaces in between, maybe a little, so those two are kind of still not outlined, and that's fine. Just whatever you think. I'll leave these big pieces here as one. Maybe just put a little definition kind of on the edge. So we've got the mane done. I'm gonna go in and do the head. And this is gonna be just a loose, quick outline. I'm gonna come quick down the side of his head. Be a little bit down the curve of like the nose. I'll do the jawline. And then just a little swoop there. The body. And with a smaller brush, I'm going to do the eyes and I'll put in a little nostril. So using a much smaller brush, I'm gonna just do the swoop of the eye, and then you can put little eyelashes on. And over here, we'll pretend like we can just see the eyelashes. So I'll just flick in a few little eyelashes, and I'm gonna give her a little nostril, just a little swoop. So the unicorn is now done with the black. I'm going to go back to my bigger brush to do my clouds. I'm just gonna give them a quick outline also, just with black paint. I'll just come around my edges. Same with this one. Lastly, we're just gonna add some highlights, and that's just going to be using some white paint. So clean all the black, excuse me, off your brush. And I'm using probably my medium-sized brush, maybe a smaller brush for you guys, because again, your canvas is smaller than mine, so you don't have the same amount of space in your areas. It's smaller. So just using white and one of your smaller brushes, I just kind of dab a little on my brush. And on my unicorn horn, to the right-hand side, on each of my little pieces, I'm just gonna put a little swoop of white paint. And then in the mane, you can add little swoops also. just wherever you want. And I'll do the bangs too. The little, there. And now my unicorn is finished. So when you're done, go ahead and sign your name. I'll maybe do, because I sign my name usually down in the lower right hand. So maybe I'll make my purple a little bit darker. I'll just add a little bit more blue. I just want it to show up, but not like show up real plainly. So I'm just gonna adjust my purple color and just sign my name right in here. So once you've finished and you've got your name on there, please take pictures. I love to see your finished work. I have a post pinned at the top of my Facebook page, Willy-Nilly, where everyone can just upload and share their finished paintings. I'd love to see them, so please do that. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks.